Okay, I am going to try and introduce you to Autodesk Fusion. And we have to get set up. To move around inside this space, there's a couple of ways. One is to grab this cube. You can click on a side, it'll take you right to it. Let's put something on the deck so we can look at it. We're just going to create a box and then we'll get rid of it. You click on the face that you want to build the box on, and then you drag these things to where you're about where you think they need to be. But then you can type in, say I want this to be 50 times 50. I can type 50, tab 50, hit return. Then if I want it to be 100 tall, I can just type in 100 and it'll go great. If I want it to go in the opposite direction, I can type in a -100, it'll go down instead. I want it to go up. Okay, so then I'm going to hit return, and it's there. I've got a rectilinear solid, but I can't see the whole thing. One way to see the whole thing is to press this home button. Another way, if you can't see the whole thing, is to use this pan button here. When you get done, you see the cursor change. You can't do anything till you get rid of that cursor. Put it where you want. You can push and hold, get it just where you need it, and then click and it'll disappear. Okay. So I want to select this whole cube. I don't want to select one of these faces. I want to get rid of it. The easy way is to go and select selection priority, select body priority. Then when I click here, I get the whole body, and I can hit delete, and the whole thing will disappear. So I want to make a cylinder, and I want it to be 36 millimeters long, 35.5. And 6.3 millimeters in diameter. So I'm going to create a cylinder. And this time I don't want it to be on this flat surface. I want it to be on one of these surfaces. So I'm going to put it there. And I can put it anywhere here. And I want it to be 6.3. And I gotta go measure again. I think I said 35. 35.5. Now I'm going to tab. Got to hit return. And then it'll ask me the length, 35. Great. Or I could click in the box and type it in the box. Okay. So if you've got a button mouse, you can scroll in and out this way. But if you don't have a button mouse, you can scroll in and out by holding this thing down and pressing and pulling. Okay, so this is where this is my axle. And I want to turn this so I can see it. It's 35 long. And I don't want to use that much plastic, so I'm busy thinking about the screws I have to put through to hold it down and the nuts on the screws. Are 6 millimeters in diameter roughly. So if I do a 12, I only get 3 on each side. It doesn't seem good enough to me. Maybe it is. 3 on each side. So I'm going to do a 12. So I need 12. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to get a wheel that goes around here. And the wheel yeah, I want 12 more than 35. So I'm going to make a box. And I am going to make the box on this plane. And I'm going to make it out here. 35 plus 12 is 47. So I'm going to type in 47. Hey, wrong direction. Tab 47. Tab. And then that thing is 6 in diameter. 12. Let's make it 15, 18. 18. Great. That leaves 6 on both sides. Better make it 24. Okay. And then it's got to be tall enough. I want like 3 millimeters underneath it and 3 millimeters on top. So I got 6 in some and 3. That's 12. We're going to make it 13 inches, 13 millimeters tall. Okay. Great. So now, the important thing to remember is that everything is made out of solids. And we start, with the exception of one tool, everything is out of a regular solid. So this wheel needs a space for it to go into. Of 21.5 millimeters. So I'm going to make another box. And I may as well make it on the same plane. And I'm going to make it tab 21.5 millimeters. And I actually don't care how long it is. And then I am going to make it really tall too, 30. Great. Then I am going to, I've got solid selected. I'm going to select this. Then I'm going to hold down the shift key and select this. Oh, I got this one selected too. I don't want that. I'm going to escape. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to select this. Then hold down the shift key and select this. Then modify. And I'm going to go align. Okay. And I'm going to just press OK. Then I'm going to go here and use the Combine tool. I'm going to click Combine. And instead of having it set to Join, I'm going to have it set to Cut. So I select the target body. This is the piece I want to keep. And then you see it clicks over to the tool body. And I select this. And you can check to see that it's going to do the operation that you want, and it is. And you can get it to make a new component for you, meaning make a copy. You can get it to keep the box for you by clicking this, but I don't want to do that. I just want to click OK. And now I have those two pieces. Now I got to figure out how to get this shaft in the middle of this. And it actually doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. But I'm going to move both these pieces together. And I'm going to move it there. Since I don't need it perfect, I can click this front thing and just try and get it close. It actually is pretty close in the middle there. So that would be okay. And then I want to move this up, this down, so that that shaft goes through this plastic. That plastic can hold it. Great. Let's see where we're at. So you got to align this in a couple of different ways. And that would work really just great. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't need to make these things. I can make one of them and then print it twice and mount it where I need it. So while I'm doing this, I'm busy thinking, I'm going to get rid of this. Well, if I get rid of one of them, I got to get rid of the other side. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to leave it just the way it is. I am going to take, and I should make sure that everything's lined up. There's the front. There's the top. Looks good. So I got this modify. I'm going to take this. This is going to be the tool. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to cut. Okay. Great. I don't think it's going to let me get rid of that. No. So I'm going to have to subtract it out. So I'm going to make a new box. Going to make it on that plane. I can actually click anywhere here. Drag that around there. Hit return. Well, this is already the height. So let's make it 50. And it'll get rid of all of that. Okay, great. So now I got this piece, and it's got a hole in there for the shaft. And it's reasonably well centered. I could get it perfect. But I'm not going to fight with it. I'm going to press the top. Now what I want to do is I want to make a hole for the screw. So I'm going to make a cylinder. And the screw is looks like it's a 3mm screw. It's not. 3mm will work though. So I need a hole that's 3mm in diameter. So I'm going to create a cylinder. I'm going to put it right on top of this box. And, well, doesn't matter where it is. And my mouse wants to drag it like that, but I'm going to say 3. Going to hit return. Then I know it's going to be 50. So it's going to be 50 tall. So we're going to create a cylinder. I'm going to make it right on top of this box. Three. That's what I want. What do you know? And then I'm going to make it, doesn't matter how tall this is, I'm going to make it 50 tall. Okay. Now let's take a look and see what we got. We might have 2 of them. Well, there's one and it's 50 tall. If we see another one, well, we see another one. Then I want to make a place for the screw. And I don't know if I have a tool for that. I don't. So I'll just let it stick out. I don't want to fight with that today. Here's the top view. Here's the side view. Here's this. And I want to move. Are they stuck together? It looks like they're stuck together. They're one piece. So let me back up. Looks like I have another one here. And I'm going to click this. If I triple click it, I can change its properties. Right now it says join. I want it to be a new body. And I forgot to look. And there it is. It's a new body. Great. So now I can select it. It's no longer attached. So this is the timeline down here. And you can go back or forward or see what you've done. And I want to take this and I am going to align these two pieces, even though it's not where I want them to be in the end. So I'm going to take that and take this, modify, align. So now I've got it in the direct center. And I can look and see it in a number of ways. That's where it is. I'm going to press OK. I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to Apple C. And then I'm going to paste it. And it's going to give me the option to move this. And I'm going to move it over here somewhere. What does it say? 8.66. Okay, let's make it 8.7 millimeters. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it. I'm going to click this arrow to be able to move it along that axis. And I'm going to move it minus 8.7 millimeters. And it'll go to its symmetrical spot. And I always get too many points in there. There we go. Then I hit return. You can't do anything till you get rid of those move arrows. You got to press return or get rid of this OK box over here. You can either press return or press OK. And so before we do anything, let's look and see what we got. We're going to put 2 screws through there. And so I am going to take and I am going to use this modify command again. And I want to cut. This is going to be the piece I keep, the target body. This is a tool body. And if I hold down the shift key now, I can select a second tool body and remove them both at the same time. Great. Well, this is fun and dandy, but it doesn't look very nice. And I don't like all these sharp corners on it. So I'm going to go under here and modify. And you see this fillet? Fillet? Camphor? I like the fillet. I think it makes nice looking parts. So I'm going to select fillet. And you notice it says the speed tool there is F. Great, F. And then I'm going to select this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge. Swing this around. and this edge, holding down the shift key. And then let's see if we can get a 2 in there. Yes. And now it looks all swank. And that's good. And you know, I was thinking that these other corners I couldn't get away with it, but they don't have to be this clean. So I'm going to go F, and I'm going to select this, and hopefully it'll let me do 2 there too. Here we go. Okay. So before we do anything else, I'm going to go under File, Save, and I'm going to write omniWheelBearingRaw0. And I'm going to press Save. You have to save this before you can export it. Now that I've got this saved, though, I'm okay to play around with it. I can go back to the beginning here, and I can press this play button, and you can see it happen. Okay, great. And I want to go all the way to the end. Excellent. Then I want to go up here, and I want to go File, Export, and I want to export it as an Stl file. And it is going to save it wherever I have selected, and I'm going to just put it in my regular downloads folder. And I need to save it as an Stl file. You see here, this file type requires cloud transition, which may take a few minutes. The design has pending changes. A new version will be saved before exporting. Great. And so now it's telling me that it's exporting, and it will take a couple of minutes. I can close this window and continue to work.